Hello guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I surely am. Currently walking through the parks of Valencia. Sun is shining, life's good. I surely am feeling much better, so I hope you do as well. The last 6 or 8 weeks I've been doing a lot of introspective work, a lot of writing, journaling, been really working on myself, and to be honest I feel much better. As you can probably tell, I've switched to talking in English because I don't know, feels more natural to me, and I feel like I want to take this channel up to a new level. And to me, I don't know, English is just more fun. So yeah, something about my recent findings, because as you know from the last video, you could probably tell I was feeling a lot chaos in my head. No real clear purpose, direction, motivation to do much work, but I don't know, things have been moving in the right direction lately, and I thought I want to share you, my latest findings. So about 2 months ago, I confronted myself with something of unease. I realized the following, that what happens if all that the things that you actually thought you were enjoying, which for me primarily was work. What if you don't enjoy that anymore? What if you cannot get yourself doing things that almost felt natural to you a couple of years ago? No matter what kind of project, no matter what kind of activity, everything that had some sort of excitement just faded. And last month I had I confronted myself that, okay, you need to do things differently. And I thought this is what I want to share with you guys. Because what happens when you do things too long on autopilot, you sort of disconnect from life in general. Everything was about work. Whenever people invited me to do something, when I again hung out, to grab a coffee, go to a festival, go out, just do anything outdoor or together, it was always, can do it man, I'm working, can do it, I'm working, don't feel like it, don't care. But honestly, what I just thought is, they probably don't have anything else better to do. I mean, how can you not just work all day? Isn't it like the very most important thing that you want to do? At least to me it was, or at least that is what I kept telling myself. But to be honest, I was just lying. I was lying to my own state of mind, telling I enjoyed working, everything that I did during the day, I got joy out of it. But I don't think, in retrospect, anything of that was even close to the truth. So then I started asking myself, or actually my coach asked me, who is Misha without this work? And to me, that was a quite confronting question, because if you have always been working, and if you thought work was all that you had, then suddenly when you don't work anymore, or when you're not enjoying work anymore, well, what is left of you then? So what I started doing was, I started writing down, okay, what are some things that I actually like to do? And it was hard, because I confused being excited or having fun with it had to be useful, it had to be productive. Whenever I was meeting someone, you had to get the best out of it. Otherwise, why waste your time? I could just waste my time, or more better, invest my time in working, right, and make progress there. So whenever I wanted to, chill or relax from work, I always ask my question, subconsciously, what's the ROI of my time? And of course, you need to guard your time, right? You cannot just spend your time like a maniac, say yes to every single thing. But I think I was at the very extreme of not saying yes at all. I just discarded having fun in general. So what happens if you do that for, a significantly long amount of time? You start to actually lose the whole fun of life in general. You don't really have a clear definition of what fun is to you. And fun to me was basically work, or at least that's what I thought. So then, this is actually what I hear from many founders. They cannot detach themselves from work. They think the business cannot run without them. They think, when I do this, then I will enjoy it later. But to be honest, that's not the reality. If you just keep identifying yourself with work, the only thing that you will do is become more identified with it, and that means the heavier it gets on you, right? So remember, pleasure is not the destination, guys. Pleasure is the fuel. If you're not able to detach yourself from work at any given moment, right? If you're actually constantly working and not thinking about anything else, no matter if you're with someone, whatever it's with your girlfriend, your partner, your family, your friends, if you're always thinking about work, guys, you're not running a business. You've created something that you become a slave to, right? So it is good to, detach yourself from work, to go on a trip, to go out. But it's very hard. I really do get it. I've been doing this for probably my whole life. Like, I've been working 12 to 16-hour days, thought it was cool, thought I was being useful, thought I was being productive, but honestly, and that's actually what hit me most, whenever people said, don't work too much, the first thing that I thought is, well, you don't understand. I really like my work. You probably don't have anything else to do. But then I started to realize, I was just filling my time in, not necessarily to look cool, but just keep myself busy. So let me ask you this. What if you're not actually enjoying the work and you're doing the 10 to 12 hour days, what if you're not actually enjoying the work, but you're actually scared of being confronted with the real truth, and that is you don't know how to move in stillness. You don't know how to sit still with yourself. You don't know what other things or, fun there is in life besides work. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with, working a lot, right? There's definitely stages or phases where you need to work more than the average person, but this is not the lifestyle, right? Guys, there's more in life than just work. And honestly, if you would have asked me this like half a year ago, I would have thought you were crazy. But the thing is, I've lost the joy and pleasure of doing anything other else than work. But at some point, it's just not worth it, and you actually confuse the two, right? Of course, work has to be fun, but it cannot be your whole life. So this is what helped me in reframing this, and what actually made me feel better and detach myself from work. So I could have always just gone out, take a week off, maybe a few weeks off, and the business would still run on itself, right? But still, I was tied to my business. I thought I was feeling guilty whenever I took time off. So guilty for my business partner, guilty for my family, guilty for my team. It didn't really matter. I thought, well, if I'm not going to do it, who else is going to do it? Even though there was not even that much work to do in the first place. But because I was, filling up my time and keeping myself busy, I just created some sort of mental cage where I thought, okay, I just need to work all day long in order to make myself feel better, in order to look good or whatever. But eventually this didn't work. At least I just created an unhealthy relationship with having fun. So here's what you could do, or here's at least what I did that helped me. I had to redefine what having fun means. I had to redefine what, pleasure meant to me. And it's quite difficult because you don't want to write down, because for me, I thought, okay, the very first things that came to my mind was what other people thought it was cool, what other people thought it was pleasure. But it's really hard because if you never really thought about, okay, what is it actually that you enjoy doing? Well, then you left yourself astray. So just write down what you think is your form of pleasure. It can be anything, especially when it's super silly, especially when it's unproductive. It can be anything. It can be going for a walk, it can be go singing, it can be go biking somewhere, it can go on a trip. You don't have to do anything crazy. It can even be start a new hobby, you can go draw, you can go do painting. Doesn't really matter. If it's you who's enjoying the exercise or the activity without, the need of how can I make the best, or how can I build a business around it, or how can I be the best at the next activity, remove all the expectations. And that's where you start to slowly find yourself back again, slowly start to enjoy life. You don't have to really, change the whole schedule. Just start with one small thing, add it to your week, just add it to your month, and then slowly build up from there. You need to create like simple milestones that you can live towards to, because like I said, pleasure is not the destination. Pleasure is the fuel, right? Without those moments where you can slow down, where you can appreciate how far you've come, where you can reward yourself, even if it's small. Doesn't matter. It can even be go on a cup of coffee in the middle of the week. For example, for me it was booking myself a Lord of the Rings live in concert by the end of this year. I'm going with myself. I think those movies are freaking cool. Now with the live orchestra, even better. It was taking, like today, I took a scooter in Valencia. I drove without having a plan, no destination, just because I can and I want to experience it. And then I just ended up in this park. Actually ended up in the highway. That was not a smart move, but nonetheless, it was a good experience, right? Or going to play padel midweek with some friends without feeling guilty. And that's why I started to realize, okay, there is actually more to life than work. I can actually enjoy myself without the need of approval for others. Because my friend, you don't need to have approval from anyone except for you. Start proving that you can enjoy your life and just start living. Start living, man. And if you want to know more about this, I expand the whole topic in my newsletter. I want to do this on a weekly basis, so let me know what you guys think. I'm just writing weekly notes to myself, to other founders who are stuck in their business, their life. Just want to spread the word, sharing the lessons that I wish I had learned sooner. So if you want to know more about this, just subscribe free to my newsletter below. I'll drop a link, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Alright guys, take care. See you on the next one. Ciao.